Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time we're tackling something really thought-provoking,
Oh, yeah.
the history and the philosophy behind AI.
Okay.
But not just, the technical nuts and bolts. We're going to look at it through the lens of the people who actually created it.
Interesting.
And we're going to be drawing our insights from a book
Okay.
called What Was Artificial Intelligence? It's by Sue Curry-Jansen.
It's a fascinating perspective to take,
Mm.
looking at, like the human desires
Yeah.
and anxieties that are kind of woven into the fabric of AI research.
Yeah, and it's interesting to consider the hopes and dreams, even the anxieties of
Right.
these scientists who were really pioneers in the field.
Yeah.
And, they went through some pretty dramatic shifts in thinking.
Oh, yeah.
It started with a very top-down approach,
Okay.
trying to program intelligence through logic and rules.
Yeah, that's right. A very structured,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
almost mechanical way of understanding the mind.
Yeah.
And you can see how the Cold War context played a role here. Jansen really highlights the influence
Yeah.
of defense funding
Okay.
on early AI research,
Mm.
specifically DARPA.
Oh, wow.
The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. They were a major player.
So how did these scientists working on defense projects
Right.
reconcile that with the pursuit of, pure science?
Well, Jansen argues that the idea of pure science became like a shield.
Okay.
It allowed scientists to accept defense funding, which was often the most available
Right.
at the time,
Yeah.
while still maintaining a sense of academic freedom.
Yeah.
It was a complex balancing act driven by the political realities of the era.
It makes you think about how scientific progress is rarely a straightforward path.
Right.
It's often shaped by factors beyond the laboratory.
Absolutely. And this becomes even more apparent as we kind of delve into the shifting paradigms of AI research.
Okay.
The limitations of this top-down approach
Yeah.
became increasingly clear. Trying to program every single step of intelligence proved to be way too complex.
Yeah.
It was like trying to write a novel and meticulously outlining every single sentence.
Yeah, you lose the flow, the
Yeah.
spontaneity,
Right.
the essence of what makes it compelling.
And that's where the bottom-up approach emerged,
Okay.
drawing inspiration from the structure of the brain itself, neural networks.
So they were moving away from a rule-based system to something
Yeah.
more organic, more like the human brain.
Exactly.
But here's where things get really mind-bending.
Okay.
Jansen introduces this concept of the pregnant phallus.
Okay.
And I know it sounds strange.
Yeah.
Bear with me. It's a metaphor for the AI researcher's ambition to create life,
Okay.
but without the traditional role of women in the process.
It's a provocative concept.
Yeah.
And it speaks to, deeper layer of
Yeah.
motivation behind some of this research. Jansen connects it to the legend of the golem,
Oh, wow.
this mythical being created from clay by Rabbi Lowe.
Okay.
Interestingly, several AI pioneers claim to be descendants of Rabbi Lowe.
Oh, wow. So there's this connection between
Right.
a mythical figure who creates life from inanimate matter
Right.
and these scientists attempting to do something similar through technological means.
It highlights the mythic and symbolic dimensions of their work. They saw themselves as almost godlike creators,
Okay.
bypassing the traditional mechanisms of biological reproduction.
It's like they're trying to redefine creation itself. And this ambition takes us to another interesting theme.
Yeah.
These dreams of immortality that some AI scientists entertain.
Yes, the idea that advanced AI could enable humans to download their consciousness into machines,
Right.
essentially achieving a form of digital afterlife.
Wow.
Jansen quotes scientists like Hans Moravec,
Okay.
who envisioned a future where machines not only surpass human intelligence,
Right.
but also inherit the legacy of human consciousness.
The concept of living on as a computer program,
Yeah.
it's certainly thought-provoking.
Yeah.
It challenges our understanding of what it means to be human.
It raises questions about the nature of identity,
Yeah.
consciousness,
Yeah.
and whether these aspects of ourselves can truly be separated
Right.
from our physical embodiment.
It's a heady concept,
It is.
but one that speaks to the deep philosophical questions lurking beneath the surface of AI research.
These scientists weren't just tinkering with algorithms.
Right.
They were grappling with fundamental questions
Right.
about the nature of life, consciousness, and our place in the universe.
And that takes us to another key aspect
Yeah.
of Jansen's exploration, the ethical dilemmas that arise when humans attempt to create something as complex as the human mind.
Right.
We'll delve into those ethical considerations in part 2 of our deep dive.
We'll look at the concerns raised by both proponents and critics of AI
Okay.
and the ongoing debates about the potential benefits and risks of this powerful technology.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of AI. We're looking at it through the eyes of the people who helped create it.
Yeah, when we left
Yeah.
off, we were talking about
Yeah.
those dreams of immortality
Right.
that fueled some AI pioneers.
Right.
And the contradictions of,
Right.
trying to replicate the human mind.
Right.
It's true. The quest to create artificial intelligence kind of forced these scientists to confront the age-old mind-body problem
Yeah.
in a very direct way.
Yeah.
I mean, they were trying to
Yeah.
create disembodied intelligence,
Okay.
essentially separating the mind from its physical constraints.
It seems like such a paradoxical pursuit,
It is.
trying to escape the physical reality of the brain,
Yeah,
but also trying to replicate its function.
precisely. And this contradiction
Yeah.
is where that shift to the bottom-up approach,
Okay.
inspired by neural networks, becomes even more significant.
Okay.
By mimicking the structure of the brain, they were acknowledging
Yeah.
the importance of embodiment,
Yeah.
even though we're fully conscious of it.
It's as if their own research
Yeah.
was leading them back to the very thing they were trying to transcend, the
Right.
physical reality of the brain.
Jansen also points out the fascinating language used by these AI pioneers.
Okay.
It was filled with metaphors drawn from the realm of birth and creation.
Yeah.
They talked about their creations as like mind children
Okay.
and envisioned them inheriting their intelligence
Right.
and achieving a kind of digital immortality.
It's interesting how that language,
Right.
the metaphors of birth and creation,
Yeah, I
seem to
see.
reflect a very specific worldview.
You're right. Jansen argues that the dominant narrative surrounding AI in this era
Okay.
was very much shaped by a male perspective,
Okay.
one that emphasized, control, dominance, and transcendence over the limitations of the physical world.
So it's as if they were trying to replicate not just intelligence,
Right.
but a certain kind of masculine power.
And this connects back to the anxieties
Okay.
of the Cold War era.
Right.
I mean, it was a time of existential threats, and these scientists were grappling with their own fears
Right.
about mortality and obsolescence.
Right.
AI offered a potential path
Okay.
to conquer those fears,
Yeah.
to leave a legacy that would outlive them.
So in a way, AI becomes this technological expression
Right.
of a desire for immortality and control,
Yes.
intertwined with the anxieties of that specific historical moment.
But it's crucial to remember that not all AI researchers
Yeah.
share this worldview.
Okay.
Jansen also highlights figures like Joseph Weissenbaum, who expressed deep concerns
Okay.
about the potential dangers of AI.
Weissenbaum was a prominent critic of AI, right?
Yes, he was.
Can you tell us more about his perspective?
Well, Weissenbaum saw the potential for AI to dehumanize us, to erode our values,
Okay.
and ultimately to lead to our own destruction.
Wow.
He even compared the elimination of humanity by AI
Oh, wow.
for genocide.
Wow.
It was a stark contrast
Yeah.
to the more utopian visions of,
Right.
of some of his peers.
His views really highlight the ethical dilemmas at the heart of AI research. These
Yeah.
weren't just, abstract thought experiments that scientists were grappling with the potential consequences of their creation.
Absolutely. And those ethical debates
Yeah.
continue to this day.
Right.
We've discussed the dreams of immortality,
Right.
the anxieties about control,
Right.
but we can't overlook the warnings
Yeah.
issued by those who saw the potential dangers
Yeah.
of this technology.
One such warning came from Bill Joy,
Yes.
a prominent computer scientist who famously sounded the alarm
Right.
about the risks of 21st century technologies, including AI.
Joy argued that these technologies, genetics, nanotechnology, robotics, and AI,
Right.
were becoming so powerful
Yeah.
and accessible
Okay.
that they could be misused by individuals,
Okay.
not just governments.
Okay.
It was a wake-up call to the tech community.
Wow.
He was essentially saying, we're playing with fire,
Yeah.
and we need to be extremely careful.
It's a sobering thought.
It is.
The idea that these powerful tools intended for progress
Right.
could also be used for harm.
And as Jansen points out,
Yeah.
Joy's argument is even more relevant today
Right.
as these technologies become increasingly integrated into our lives.
Yeah.
The pace of technological advancement is rapid, and it's a challenge
Right.
to ensure that these innovations are used responsibly.
It emphasizes the importance of dialogue,
It does.
of, considering the potential consequences of our actions
Yeah.
and having these open and honest conversations
Yes.
about the ethical implications of these powerful technologies.
You can't just assume that technological progress
Right.
is inherently good. We need to be mindful
Yeah.
of the potential risks
Yeah.
and ensure that these tools are used to empower people,
Right.
not to control them.
It brings us back to that fundamental question.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be human
Right.
in an age of intelligent machines?
It's a question that each of us needs to grapple with
Right.
as we navigate
Yeah.
this rapidly evolving landscape.
Yeah, right.
And maybe, just maybe by understanding the hopes and fears
Mm.
of those who came before us,
Right.
we can make more informed and ethical choices
Yeah.
as we continue this journey into the unknown.
It's fascinating how Jansen connects this back to the Cold War context.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about funding.
Right.
It was about a whole way of thinking.
It was.
The Cold War shapes not just the direction of AI research,
Right.
but the metaphors and the language used to describe it.
And she suggests that maybe
Yeah.
some of those metaphors like the pregnant phallus
Right.
and this quest for immortality aren't serving us well anymore.
Okay.
They reflect a worldview
Okay.
rooted in control and dominance,
Yeah.
kind of a techno-masculinity
Okay.
that's increasingly out of step with contemporary values.
So if those metaphors are no longer relevant, what kind of new metaphors do we need? What kind of language can
Yeah.
help us create a more humane and ethical approach to AI?
That's the question we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll delve into the need for new narratives, new ways of thinking about our relationship with technology
Yeah.
that move beyond the anxieties and ambitions of the past.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI. It's the final part of our exploration of the history and philosophy of AI through the lens of the folks who created it.
We've been on quite the journey, haven't we?
We have.
From those Cold War anxieties to the dreams of immortality.
Yeah.
It's really striking how closely tied AI research is to the human condition.
And in this last part, we want to look ahead
Okay.
to consider what kind of future we're creating with AI and what role we want it to play in our lives.
Yeah, as we've discussed, those early narratives about AI often revolved around control and dominance, a quest to, transcend human limitations
Right.
and even achieve a kind of immortality.
And Jansen suggests that maybe
Yeah,
we need some fresh narratives, new metaphors.
exactly. Instead of trying to replace human intelligence,
Yeah.
maybe we should be focusing on how AI can enhance it, how it can help us solve tough problems, be more creative, and even understand ourselves better.
It's like shifting from a mindset of competition to one of collaboration.
Right.
Seeing AI not as a threat, but as a partner on this, ongoing journey of discovery.
And that requires a real change in perspective,
Mm-hmm.
moving away from those old narratives of,
Yeah. Right.
dominance and control
Yeah.
to a more collaborative and ethical approach.
We talked about Bill Joy's warning about the potential dangers of 21st century technologies,
Oh, yeah.
and it seems like his warning is even more relevant today.
Oh, absolutely.
As AI becomes more powerful,
Yes.
more integrated into our lives.
It really does emphasize the importance of those open and honest conversations about ethics.
Yeah,
We can't just keep assuming that progress is always good.
right.
We have to be mindful of the risks
Right.
and make sure that these tools are used to help people, not control them.
It's not even just about the technology itself. It's
Right.
about the values that we build into it, the choices we make about how it's developed
Right.
and used.
We need to really think about the future we're building with AI. Do we want a future where machines make every decision,
Right.
or one where humans and machines work together
Yeah.
to solve the big challenges we face?
It's a choice we all have to make together.
Absolutely.
And Jansen's work reminds us that we're not just,
right?
passive bystanders in this.
We can actively shape the future
Oh,
of AI.
boy. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Jansen's book,
Yeah,
I think the main point is that AI isn't just a tech story.
right.
It's a human story.
It is.
It's about our dreams, our anxieties, our hopes.
Yeah, our vision
Sure.
and that future of AI isn't set in stone.
Right.
It's up to us to write the next chapter.
Yeah.
And let's make it a chapter, full of wisdom, compassion,
Right.
a deep respect for the human spirit.
Beautifully said. And for all you deep divers out there, keep exploring.
Yes.
Keep questioning, keep seeking knowledge.
Yeah, keep diving in.
Until next time.